Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be a video where I will be talking about all of the decks that I'm going to be working with for the spring and summer season. So I just wanted to say welcome to my sacred corner of the room. This is the bedroom that I share with my husband, and this is the little sacred space that I have set up here. It has crystals, it has candles, my lights, everything. So that is my little section. I don't have my little, let's see, you probably won't even be able to see them. They're so faint. Yeah, you can't see them, but my little star lights. Okay, so this is the sacred space. Sometimes I come over in this section, I'll put like a pillow out here and I'll sit and I'll meditate, or I'll lay down right here in the section and throw some music on and I'll meditate. Or my bed isn't too far away from this spot, so it's just a lovely view that I have. But I think that a sacred space is really important, especially if you don't have generally a large living space of your own to call your own. It's nice to have like a spot that you can look at and admire, and it just brings you peace and happiness. So this is my space. Okay, so let's talk decks. I wanted to do a little video now that I have some time to myself. I wanted to introduce you guys to some decks that I'm going to be working with for the spring and summer season. I generally switch back and forth with certain decks. I've added some new ones to the collection, but I wanted to kind of bring back some old decks. So you're going to see a lot of repeats, but these are the ones that I'm going to be working with for the next few months through the summer season, and then maybe adding or taking out other decks as time goes on. If you hear a dog barking or crying or howling in the background, that's my dog. He doesn't do so well when he's by himself. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's talk. I have a crap load of Oracle decks, actually. Usually it's the opposite. Usually I have a bunch of tarot. So let's get the tarot decks out of the way, because I'm telling you, I have a lot of Oracle decks. It was my goal to work with tarot. I mean, not tarot. Let's see. It was my goal to work with more Oracle decks with my stuff, because I have, like I said, so many tarot decks. I wanted to introduce more Oracle to my readings and just in my collection altogether. So Gummy Bear Tarot actually stood out to me. This deck, I brought in with a bunch of client readings email-wise, but this really didn't make much of an appearance on video. So the Gummy Bear Tarot brings me so much happiness. It's like the epitome of summer. It's such a cute deck. It's really small. Comes in a tin. It goes with the typical Rider-Waite, but it's so funny. It's like when you look at the images, you can't be mad. It brings a smile to your face, but as you can see, it follows the Rider-Waite. And I just think that they're so cute. Look at the High Priestess. So it's just definitely like a really bright, vibrant, happy deck, and definitely one that I'm going to be working with this springy summer season. Crystal Visions Tarot. Now this one I actually had on my daily posts for the month of March, and the Crystal Visions Tarot is beautiful. It's got like gem tone colors. This is the backs of the cards. Sometimes, like a lot of times, I don't know if you're like me, if you could see the backs of the deck, you can recognize what type of deck it is right off the bat. So they look like that. I love the lighting right now. It's because the window is like right there. And then the images are just really sweet, mystical, and like fairy tale like. Lots of angels. It's just really pretty. So that is the Crystal Visions Tarot. I haven't found a deck bag for this one either. I like to kind of convert my tarot decks and put them in deck bags. It minimizes the space instead of having like a bunch of the boxes and whatnot. Oh my gosh. So this one I've been using a lot lately. it's just been calling out to me. This is the Witch's Tarot. Now, there's different tarot decks called the Witch's Tarot. This one is the one by Ellen Dugan. You can hear him singing in the background. Apollo. He does not like to be by himself. So this is the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. Look at the card box with the triple moon and a galaxy. It's so gorgeous. And then they have a Rider-Waite theme, but they have more of a like realistic photographic, I don't even know what you would call this, vibe to them. I don't know. I really, really enjoy it. I think it's beautiful. I love working with this deck. I feel like it photographs extremely well. And it's very intuitive. So if you guys were ever looking for just something different from your Rider-Waite, the Witch's Tarot, I would say, is a really good one to go for. It's definitely a deck I recommend to people who are tarot beginners or who love the Rider-Waite, but they don't want to venture off to something completely different. They want to kind of stick with something that they're familiar with. So the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan is definitely one that I bring up. In this gorgeous little leopard bag, I have my Wild Unknown. This is the second edition. I do not own the first. So the second edition has like that snake-like background. It's like snakeskin. And the Wild Unknown, I'm sure many of you guys have seen the photographs online. This deck was a healing deck for me during my grieving process. So it has sentimental value for that. But it's been one that I've been picking up for client readings the last couple days. I would say maybe the last week. Last week was probably, no, this Tuesday. This past Tuesday was when I brought it with me to the shop to read. I don't know. There's just certain times where certain decks will call out to you. Oh, it's beautiful. So definitely the Wild Unknown is going to be popping up for client readings. I don't know. I just feel like that animal vibe is so springy and I don't know. It's just like really refreshing. This is my newest deck, the Lioness Oracle Tarot. It's collage. It's gorgeous. It has rose theme all throughout the deck. I actually ordered rose spray. It's like a fragrance. So I could spray the cards when I'm cleansing them so they can have like that rose scent. I'm really excited. It's just a beautiful deck. So this is what they look like. Very collagey. And it reads very well. I've definitely connected with this deck. This does not follow Rider-Waite. It's very intuitive. It gets you thinking. Definitely gets you thinking outside the box. It's beautiful. Not for everyone. And I say that because some people, you know, just they don't click well with collage decks or ones that are not that don't follow a system that they're familiar with. But if you're really practicing and you're really wanting to strengthen your intuitive abilities and trusting in your intuitive abilities, I totally recommend the Lioness Oracle Tarot. Also the Wild Unknown, because the Wild Unknown doesn't follow the Rider-Waite theme either, but it's also a great way to practice your intuitive abilities. Okay, I think that's it for the tarot decks. Everything else here, actually, well, this deck is called the Psychic Tarot. It's called tarot, but I do not read it tarot-wise. This is like one of my first Oracle decks that I purchased. So the backs look like that. And it calls itself a tarot deck, but it's one of those it's not. I don't read it as a tarot. I see it more as Oracle. It's very colorful. It also comes with the chakra cards, which are my favorite. I like to pull those for specific readings. This deck has been around with me for quite some time, so it's one of my faves, and it's coming out again for another, you know, time, another go around. I haven't worked with it that much with client readings, but It's been coming up for just a couple client readings. I just felt like it was like that perfect deck that needed to be brought out, and I'm really happy to bring it out again. Notes from the Universe on Abundance. These cards are so pretty. They are colorful and vibrant and loud. Apollo! So the backs to the cards have like scenery. And then the other side has a message. So it's like a note, a love note kind of from the universe. But look at how gorgeous. The colors just pop. And you have different scenery. I love this. I think it's springy and summery. We have some, you know, the ocean and whatnot. I just think anything vibrant like this is perfect for the season. So that deck is definitely coming out to play. And then I have Magic and Manifestation Affirmation cards. These also were in my daily messages for this month, the month of April. So if you want to see what these cards look like, have a check out my Instagram. The backs are like a purpley gold. And then the images are just beautiful. It's an oracle deck. So we have like a theme at the bottom. I definitely work with the guidebook with a lot of my oracle decks because it just helps me gain that message more. But they're beautiful. So again, any deck that is like colorful and just really beautiful like this, I have to bring it out to play, especially for spring. The Enchanted Map. So this oracle deck is really whimsical, and the guidebook is a must. You got to use the guidebook for this deck. It just opens your eyes. So this is what the card backs look like. I purchased this deck off of at Barnes & Noble. And I believe they still have it at Barnes & Noble. So you can totally go find it there. And if anyone has questions about the decks that I'm showing, please feel free to leave a comment or email me. You know, I'll let you know where I got them or where you can order them. And I'll put a list in the video of all the deck titles so you'll know what they are. Not in order as the way that they appeared, but I'll just put a whole list of them out there. This way you can go and, you know, search and see if, you know, it's something that vibes with you. Magical Times Empowerment cards. This deck has been with me for quite some time. I would say a couple years. And oh, it's just beautiful. Look at the backs. First off, they're just like loud, colorful, rainbow. And the cards themselves have a beautiful message, and then they have just gorgeous imagery. Unicorns, dragons, lots of mythical creatures. The cards are different colors to mimic the elements. Just beautiful. I love using this deck when a client is like, if I'm tapping into the energy of my client and they feel like they need like a positive push in the right direction, or they need like just a positive message, they need something to kind of give them something to smile about, that deck is one that I always reach for. That's also a deck I like to work with spirit guides because I feel like it just comes through really easily and it flows. So yeah, it's a beautiful deck. My Victorian Flower Oracle. I love my Flower Oracle. I was obsessing over this deck forever. I wanted it so bad. And I finally, you know, bit the bullet because you cannot find it for cheap online at all. So I ordered this one off eBay. And And it's a very, like, this deck in particular, the vibe is very sarcastic. So when I pull it out to read with clients, I get the sarcastic kind of attitude from this deck, but it's more of like truth. Like the cards that come out for the client, and even for myself, because I read for myself with this deck, it's like it's that friend that doesn't hold back. It's that friend that has no filter. They're gonna tell you how it is no matter what. So that's what this deck is totally like. And I think that even though I'm going for some really pretty, cute, you know, colorful decks, I need one that's going to be really a kick in the ass. And the Victorian Flower Oracle will look dainty. You know, it appears to be dainty and it appears to be, you know, florally and soft, but it is a bitch to work with. It is just downright rude sometimes. So I love that. Wisdom of the Oracle. This is another newer deck that I purchased. I got this one from the Power of Three, which is the shop I work at. I love this deck. I think it's gorgeous. And the messages are just beautiful. So that's what the card backs look like. And the images themselves, Paulo! The images themselves are really pretty. Sorry, guys. We're almost done with the video, so I'll just let him sing. Whoops. So yeah, if you're looking for an oracle deck that is just beautiful, whimsical, fairy tale-like, but it has really, really in-depth messages, this is a deck to get. It has 52 cards. 52 cards. It's every single card is beautiful. And it's one of those decks where you got to really like take your time and look closely at the images, because there's so much to see and the images are just beautiful. It's beautiful artwork. So if you're looking for a true oracle deck, that is definitely one, without a doubt. Miracles Now affirmation cards. These are beautiful. I think they came up in my February or March tarot scopes. This is another deck where I like to pull for positive messages and affirmations. I have a new service in my shop, which is about, I leave you with a mantra. So it's like words or a phrase or just, you know, a sentence to think about in meditation. And I pull it from this deck because some of the messages on here are so powerful. So it's just one of those like simple decks, but it packs a punch. It really gives you something to think about. And Gabrielle Bernstein, which is the creator of this deck, her books are amazing. So if you're looking for a spiritual read, something that is going to ignite and fuel your spiritual journey, I highly recommend her books. I read her Miracles Now, I think. I don't know if that's what it's called. It's like Miracles something. It's a workbook. And it's like 40 days. I only got to, I think I did like 30 days. I didn't finish it. But it really, it really boosted my spiritual journey at the time. I faced fears, and I started to face fears. That was when like this whole unraveling of my cycle started taking place. But yeah, it's a beautiful read. So I recommend her deck. I recommend her books. She's wonderful. Two more decks. So we have the Wisdom of the House of Night. This is like probably one of the first oracle decks I purchased. I love this deck. I read the books, not all of them, not the whole series, but I love I love it. It's like vampire-y. It's kind of like a dark themed, but I mean, it's beautiful. The artwork is just beautiful. It's dark, like it has a dark, but it's a sexy theme to it. I don't know. It's just, it's perfect for certain energies of clients. It's not for everyone. But I have taken this deck to every session that I go to in the shop when I read. And I pulled it out for certain clients. But it's just one of those decks, like, the messages just flow. Very intuitive. Look at this one. This is High Priestess of Fire. Look at how gorgeous. And it photographs really well. It's kind of glossy, but it photographs really, really nicely. Okay, so the last deck is The Secret Language of Color. This deck is important to me. It's the only color deck I own. I would like to get a second one. Not a second copy of this, but like a second color deck. Because I do have aura readings in my shop. And the aura readings, I pull cards for this. Also, I have a new service. It's called The Colors of Your Name, or Color My Name. Color My Name. I think that's what it's called. And I pull a color card for every letter of your name, and I give you an energy reading. So, I don't know. This deck is just so pretty. I'll show you just a couple of the cards. It has like a rainbow background to it. And then it shows like, it's not just the color, it shows like an actual image. It tells you the color. It has like the little phrase at the very bottom. And you got to look at the guidebook for it, but it's beautiful. I've had this deck for a couple years now. So this is, the color cards are my go-to for aura and my color readings. So if you guys are interested, that's what this one is. So I think my color deck goes with me. Doesn't matter what season it is. This one's always this one's always in the pile, because every once in a while I'll get a client that'll order that specific reading and I need to use it. So that is all of the decks that I will be working with for the month of, well, it's not really the certain month. It's just April. Spring through summer. I'm probably going to pull other decks too. It always happens that way, but this is basically what I'm going to be trying to just stick with working. I love my cards. I love my collection, but I've been finding that like old loves, like my Magical Times and my Witch's Tarot, they just come back. So if you guys have like a growing collection, it's nice to like go back and pick out some of your old decks that you used to work with all the time, as opposed to like the new ones that you just buy. I don't know. That's me. Like I could buy brand new decks, but I'm always going back to reach for like old ones. It's just that connection that you never lose. So I wanted to show you guys my collection. I wanted to let you guys view my beautiful sacred space. I just wish all of you a beautiful rest of the week. And if you have questions about the decks that I showed, please comment below or send me an email. And yeah, I wish you guys a beautiful rest of the week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.